learned recently that Bitcoin users use as much electricity as the entire country of Argentina.
I'm Chantal Bowman-Boyles, Managing Partner for Fin Partners Business in Europe, and I'm joined by Jane Madden, who's our Global Head of Sustainability and Social Impact. Welcome to London, Jane.
Hi, Chantal. I'm delighted to be here. It's so exciting to travel again, be in the office, but I'm really excited to talk about sustainability and ESG and how important it is for business today.
How can ESG prevent a company from negative impacts?
It all goes back to measurement and communicating honestly and modestly about what you're doing. But really preventing it is negative impacts is identifying what those could be and doing what you can to mitigate that or decrease any negative impact. And that helps with a company's bottom line, and it helps with their overall reputation and building trust and confidence.
And how should a company approach ESG if in fact it's part of the problem?
Well, if they're part of the problem, they can't ignore it, right? So owning it, talking about it, being transparent, making commitments, and identifying programs that are strong enough to reach those commitments.
And if a company hasn't already started developing an ESG strategy, is it too late?
It's never too late. But I do suggest you start as soon as possible. It does take some time. We are in a social and environmental crisis right now in the world, and corporations can have the biggest impact on changing that and making progress. And ultimately, on the environmental side, keeping us to the IPCC's 1.5 degrees target that we are looking at.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about specific sectors. The tech sector is trying to decarbonise, but the feeling is that it's not doing it fast enough. How do tech firms talk sustainability when they really are a significant part of the problem?
And they are, and I don't think many people realize that. As an example, Bitcoin users use as much electricity as the entire country of Argentina. So that really puts it into perspective. And certainly energy use, energy efficiency is a big issue in tech, but we can't forget the others. And those issues include social issues and governance issues, such as diversity and inclusion, transparency, particularly with startups, where's the money coming from? Is it from sovereign funds? Why are you using that? To other issues like data security and cybersecurity. On the environmental side, I like to look at Microsoft as an example. They have done two things that I think are very important. One is they put an internal price on carbon, and that's just the way that they do business, and that is the way that they are managing their business. Secondly, they've made very big investments in redundant, renewable energy, such as wind and solar. And that is a good business decision. It's great for the environment, but it's also maintaining and making sure that all of their data centers are consistently working.
How can a traveller make sure that their trip truly benefits the community and the planet?
Being mindful and being responsible starts from the time you purchase your itinerary, from the flight you're taking to the destination, the hotels you stay at, and the operators you use. And tourism won't survive without being responsible and sustainable. And we see that can happen in many ways, being responsible from the corporate level. And a lot of it has to do with where's the wealth. So a lot of people go to a destination, they're bringing lots of money, but does that money stay in the local community? Does the local community identify what its needs are? Are they a part of planning? And on the culture side, is it authentic? Is it truly representing the community that is there?
What are your thoughts on aviation and its impact on ESG?
Although the industry says that aviation only contributes 3% of all global carbon emissions in the world. But we have to remember that still is millions of metric tons of carbon going out there. So we need to do better. One solution is sustainable aviation fuels. And that is very promising. United, for example, has committed to buy 1 billion gallons of aviation fuel, but it doesn't exist yet. And some of the engines in the older aircraft can't use sustainable aviation fuel. So those problems need to be worked out from a technology perspective, and we need to move more quickly on that. One alternative, but it's certainly not perfect and sometimes makes us forget about and just feeling less guilty and more of a diversion tactic, is offsets. And some of these programs are really local and really credible, can work, but we can't rely on offsets all the time.
Okay. Thanks very much, Jane. It's been fascinating talking to you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Chantal.